Plaintiff Lisa Holmes says after she gave the defendant a security deposit to rent his home, she discovered he was a known crackhead. As a result, she backed out of the deal. But when she met him to get her security deposit back, he pushed her and threatened her with a gun. She's suing for the security deposit and emotional distress. Defendant Leela Fitt insists he tried to return Lisa's security deposit 2 times. And on the day in question, he claims Lisa and her mother initiated the argument. Lee denies ever pulling a gun on Lisa, and he's countersuing for false arrest.
Start with you.
November 2012, I was riding through the neighborhoods looking for a place to stay. I came upon Mr. LaFitte's house, and I called the number, and he came to meet with me to show me the house. Right out the bat, it was just weird. You know, my first impression of him wasn't good at all. He was flirtatious. He was just really, really creepy, like, just to be honest. And, you know, he asked me if I had a boyfriend, and he just wanted to know too much about my personal life. It was nothing professional at all. Mm-hmm. I gave him, you know, the $650 for my deposit in 2 different payments. And after that, I found out that he was a known crackhead in the neighborhood. That's the word on the street.
How'd you find that out?
Word of mouth, word on the street.
No, somebody had to tell you, though. You just didn't hear it.
Hey,
oh, yeah, somebody told me. When, you know,
Hey,
when
man.
they found
You don't have
out
to give
about
me the
my
name,
situation.
but tell me, what was the association
Oh,
with
he
this person?
He was a street, you know, he was a drug dealer.
Okay, how did he say he knew?
He was just like, you got your money to that man? Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah. I didn't know. He was like, man, that man a crackhead.
Okay.
He do drugs.
All right. Sir, let me hear from you on the background, and then I'll get back to you.
I rent houses throughout the Mobile and Pritchard area. And she had a Section A voucher, and she came to me and Diane need to keep her voucher. And I told her that I would assist her in keeping her voucher by taking the payments partial.
It wasn't as if you knew her prior.
Right. No,
All
no,
right.
sir. I never, and I don't want to meet nobody else like her. Amen.
All right. So, all right. So she inquired, and you all agreed that she would move in, and she paid her security deposit. During that process, if you want to rebut it, did you hit on her, flirt with her, or whatever
No,
she's
sir.
alleging?
I find Miss Holmes to be a compulsive liar.
And I guess the other part I was going to allow you to answer, are you on crack? Are you a crackhead?
Your Honor, my heart went out to this young lady, and it's still, even out of all she say, it's still that I'm
At
still.
some point, you might want to say no.
Oh, you're right, Your Honor. No.
All right, now what else you want me to know? That's how you do that. You say no, and then whatever else you need me to know comes after that.
Okay, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Leave it alone. Okay, he says he's not, and
No, I'm not.
there's some signs, and I don't quite see the signs in him, but he could be just getting started. I don't know. They haven't set in yet.
No, Your Honor, he's a vet. He's a vet. It was
All right. What happened?
I paid the last installment on a Friday. That following Monday, which was November the 19th, I called him and I let him know that I wasn't gonna rent his home from him anymore. I decided not to. And he, you know, seemed like if everything was okay, all right, Miss Holmes, that's fine. And, you know, he was like, well, I got a doctor's appointment, so I'm gonna meet you at somewhere.
To give
me my money back. He didn't even know where we was gonna meet. It was just, I had to hurry up and give him a landmark. Well, how about we just meet right here in this Winn-Dixie parking lot?
Okay.
Since you downtown and you know, it's like a middle point. So we met in the parking lot, and he kind of zoomed up behind me real fast and hopped out his car, and my window was kind of cracked. So he threw this sealed envelope through my window, and I'm like, hold on, Mr. LaFitte, you can't just, you know. I was under the impression you're gonna give me my cash back. Everything. Our relationship was good up until this point. There was no disrespect or anything. So I opened the envelope, I got the car, I was like, why is this a check? And it's post dated for Black Friday, November the 23rd. 9 times out of 10, banks were closed. And I asked him, I said, Mr. Fitt, why did you write me this check like that? He said, well, I didn't write the check. I said, well, who wrote the check? He said, she wrote the check. referring to his girlfriend. Right out the bat, it was just weird. You know, my first impression of him wasn't good at all. Really creepy, like, just to be honest. After that, I found out that he was a known crackhead in the neighborhood. That's the word on the street.
How'd you find that out?
Word of mouth, word on the street.
No, somebody had to tell you, though. You just didn't hear it.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
yeah, somebody
in the
told me.
air.
Plaintiff Lisa Holmes says she almost rented a home from the defendant. But when she changed her mind and met him to get her security deposit back, he threatened her with a gun.
So he gives you the check, then
So
what?
he gave me the check, and we had the, conversation, confrontation about it. My issue was why was it post dated for Black Friday?
Right.
When everybody know Black Friday is a huge holiday
Right.
everywhere. So I felt like he was trying to get over on me. And I told him, I said, Mr. Lafayette, I never disrespected you up until this point. Why are you, I can't understand why you treat me like this. And then he pushed me and told, get the H out of my way. And when he pushed me, my mom immediately got out the car and she said, I'm gonna call the police. So he got in his car and drove off. This time, people's coming out of the parking lot. It's a grocery store parking lot. Everybody's standing around going, what's going on, what's going on? And he drives back, he appears back around. I thought he left. He comes back. And at this point, he's like maybe 20 feet away from me, and he has his pistol. And he's like, I'm gonna bust a cap in your A, you ain't gonna sleep tonight. And just talking a bunch of stuff, just talking major crap. And I already told him, okay, I'm not worried about it. I already called the police. You stay right there, that's what you wanna do, but the police is on the way. So police pulled up, immediately they arrested him right on the spot, took 2 pistols off of him, and put him in the back of the car. Then we had our court date, our criminal case, of course, since there was a pistol involved in an assault. Court date, it was thrown out because the 2 arresting officers weren't present at the time. And honestly, that was the second time it was put off.
What happened the first time?
The first time I was in the state of Texas. The officers weren't there the second or the third time.
So there was a third time?
Yes, sir, that's why I was
All
in.
right. And the officers didn't make it the second nor third time?
No, sir.
First neither.
All right.
Well, I didn't
Your
know
Honor,
about the
may I
first.
say something?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I met this young lady, and I tried to give her money back twice. Not just one time, twice I tried to give her money back. She came to, when Winn-Dixie parking lot, I gave her her check. And I got back in my car, and she threw this big old rude thing. What's this, a post-dated D check I gave you? MF cash, you gonna give me cash back, and I'm calling the police, and then her mama, like a football player coming at me. I'm like, what's going on here,
Wow.
So, of course I got on in the
appreciate
car.
that. Don't insult
you know
my
what I'm
mother.
saying?
Don't insult my
and I
mother.
moved out harm's way. So when I moved out
I don't
harm's
appreciate
way,
it.
right? The police came and he started talking to me first, and then now we called the police. I'm like, yeah. I said, officer, please go talk to them first. And now I don't know how she knew I had 2 guns
Wow.
because that didn't
'Cause
come
they
out until I
pulled it
got
off
down
of
there in the
them.
Metro jail.
They
you know what I'm
pulled it off
saying?
of them at
Did
the
you ever
time.
pull the gun out?
Yeah, but see,
Did you ever pull the gun out?
No, sir.
While you were in her
No,
presence?
sir.
Just a coincidence that she said you pulled one out on her, and then you just happened to have 2 on you.
Right. Well, see, Your
That's a
Honor.
coincidence?
Coincidence. It's
All
just
right.
coincidence because I carry a gun. I work in see, my house is in bad little areas, and I try to help someone.
I got you. I
So
got all that. I just want to establish the facts.
I carry a gun in my
Got you.
holster.
Just want to establish the facts, and it was a coincidence that she said you pulled out a gun and you actually did have 2 on you.
I had 2 on me, but she only knew of 1.
How did she know of 1?
How she knew of 1?
Yes.
Because I carried in a holster.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
You had it out for the public to see.
Yes, sir.
All right, good enough.
sir.
And that's how she knew you had it on.
Amen.
Where was your other gun?
My other gun was in my front pocket.
Okay, good enough. Just in the pocket, no
In the
holster
pocket.
or nothing.
No
like
holster,
where
no
people
nothing.
keep their change and their
Yeah,
keys.
a little bitty little Derringer.
What type of gun?
A 22 caliber.
All right. And so when the police took you in, what did they charge you with?
Your Honor, they first charged me with harassment. Okay, and at the time they said harassment. Well, I'm thinking, whatever. I went on to jail that on the 20th, and then I had to go back again on the 22nd or the 21st because they upgraded the charges to menacing, and I had to go back to jail twice for, so I just spent 2 days in jail for her lying. So,
And it was dismissed. Why?
Well, at the trial, I had Matthew Green. He was a judge. He's a judge, and he was very patient because he wanted to hear everything. I had 2 witnesses there, but the first day I had 3 witnesses there. Because the people had to come. They had to come.
How many witnesses got on the stand?
1.
And what did that witness testify to?
He worked in the grocery store, and he testified to that she was lying.
How did he know? What did he say?
Because he said he was outside smoking a cigarette. He was on lunch break when we was supposed to be having this altercation.
Didn't know him?
I know, so I didn't know this man at all. And the little guy that pushed the carts around the store, gather the baskets. He come down. No, the woman just something's wrong with her.
Ma'am, did
Wow,
you
Your
have
Honor,
any?
since
Because this goes to his false arrest. He's
Yes,
suing
sir.
for $1,600 for false arrest. What you must prove is she had no probable cause to have you arrested, meaning she made it up to do it maliciously, to hurt you and get you in trouble.
Right.
You have to prove that, and that's why
And
I'm delving into that. That's why I'm trying to see what happened at the trial. And it was a coincidence that she said you pulled out a gun and you actually did have 2 on you.
I had 2 on me, but she only knew of 1.
How did she know of 1?
How she knew of 1?
Yes.
Because I carried in a holster. My other gun was in my front pocket.
Okay, good enough. What type of gun?
A .22 caliber.
All right.
Plaintiff Lisa Holmes says she almost rented a home from the defendant. But when she changed her mind and met him to get her security deposit back, he threatened her with a gun.
Let me hear from her.
I have 3 different statements.
From whom?
The first statement, I have a statement from my mother since she was actually there that day. I have a statement from an employee of Winn-Dixie as well. I also have a statement from the actual store manager.
They both saw it?
The managers, when the altercation happened, the managers came to the parking lot.
They saw him pull out a gun?
Yes, well, the witness did, not the manager. The manager is just attesting. The employee, yes. The manager is just attesting.
The person who said they saw him pull out a gun.
Your Honor, may I say something? If she can pull all this evidence out here, in front of you, but in front of Judge Green, she couldn't pull nothing out. She didn't have nothing.
Pardon me? Why?
I only had literally 7 days.
Yeah, that's enough to get a letter, ma'am.
Well, no,
let's get to the check, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm going to grant you your malicious prosecution. I believe you. Go ahead.
The check was, he gave it to me, and I believe when he posted bail, he put a stop payment on it because I deposited into my sister's
Why
checking
did you put
account.
a stop payment on it?
Because, Your Honor, she had me arrested, and I did give her a check.
You felt that was within
I
your...
figured I had to hold some evidence to show that. Only reason why I was meeting with Miss Holmes was to give her a check. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and I was getting ready to have my turkey.
That's enough. Ma'am, I'm going to grant you $665. That's for the check and the bank fee. And then, sir, for the false arrest, which I believe she committed maliciously in order to get you back, I'm going to grant you $665. Count it.
She don't want to say
He knows
nothing.
that it's a lie. It's a total, complete lie. And
She do all the time. She cry all the time.
I cannot believe that this is going on. Like, he didn't have no reason not to give me my money back.
I tried
He
to.
had no reason to put a stop payment. You see what I'm saying? He had no reason to put a stop payment on that check. You had no reason, none whatsoever. You know, you don't even know why you're here.
Yeah, you know I don't smoke.
You wasn't even there.
Somebody has raised you better than that.
No, I know what's
This man is not a crackhead.